3 weeks ago, I received a message from my friend. A part of me wanted to say yes because I like these friends, and I think going on a trip with them would be fun. But I also hesitated because when I went to Paris 3 years ago, I ended up having one of the worst days of my life. I'm going to Paris today, and I have to leave the flat exactly in 38 minutes. And that means I have to start packing now. Three years ago, I actually visited Paris and London, and at the time I was living in Seoul, so both cities felt expensive when it came to eating out. But now that I live in London and have accepted the London prices, eating out in Paris felt surprisingly affordable in comparison. We had a drink and a really delicious meal at this French bistro, and it cost us 21 euros per person, which is about 18 pounds. I don't really eat out that much in London, but if I do, dinner would cost me at least 30 pounds. Obviously, this is based on just one example, but I definitely think it costs more in London to get a comparable meal.
이제 시식을 해보자. 이것만 나눠. 이 느낌 한국말 있는데 기억이 안 나지. 윤슬.
If I had to pick my favorite moment from this Paris trip, it would be getting ice cream with my friend, sitting by the Seine, talking, and people watching. Last time I was in Paris, I was too busy sightseeing that I never got to walk along the Seine during the day. But sitting here made me realize I enjoy this more than any sightseeing apart from visiting museums. And there's just something about sitting by the river that's really peaceful. It makes you want to sit there for hours. On my last day, I visited the bakery I went to when I was in Paris 3 years ago. I was on a family trip then, and things were all good until the last night. We were sitting in the RER train, and all of a sudden, I felt my arm being pulled. I looked up, and I locked eyes with a guy who was trying to rip my bag out of my hands. And he did, because he was physically much stronger than I was. At the time, I was scared, but I was glad that I wasn't hurt and my family was okay. After that incident, as if my algorithm knew what happened, I started getting a lot of videos on YouTube and social media of people getting mugged or robbed in Paris. Seeing those videos really solidified my perception of Paris as a city that is unsafe. But after visiting Paris again and spending a couple of days here, Paris just feels like any other big city. When I think about my last trip, I actually really liked Paris until the incident, which tainted the whole trip for me to the point where I forgot about the good moments. And I think that's kind of similar to how life is, because both good things and bad things happen in life. Bad things tend to have a stronger impact, so when you focus on the negative events, life can feel painful. But there are always good moments, good things that are happening in your life. When I think about all the things that aren't going my way, there are moments when I feel like life is pain. But when I step back and think about it, I realize there are good things that are happening. And there are a lot of things to be grateful for.